is my everyday makeup that I wear every day. Hey, what's up, and welcome back to ByStephieNics. So today we're going to be doing the highly requested everyday makeup tutorial you guys have been asking, and here it is. And here we are. So I just washed my face and then I moisturized with my favorite moisturizer from Clinique. It's the Dramatically Different Moisturizing Lotion Plus. I am almost done with it, if you can see. Gotta get another one. And then for my eye cream, I used the Mario Badescu Chamomile Eye Cream on my lids and underneath my eyes. It's very important to have a nice hydrated base before you start your makeup. It just helps everything go on a lot smoother. You're not gonna get like weird like dry patches showing through and like makeup getting like, you know, we don't want that. So definitely remember to moisturize. And also, I can't stand having my hair in my face when I'm doing my makeup, so that's why I got my little ponytail with my hair back, my little headband protecting my hair. I just can't stand when you're like using your bronzer and your hair's in the way. Like, I don't know if you guys can relate, but like I cannot stand hair in my face when I'm doing my makeup, so that's the reason for that. So now with all that out of the way, we can start our makeup application. So you always gotta start with a primer. Well, at least I always do. I use this one from Bare Minerals. It's called Prime Time, the original one. And I love it. It goes on really smooth, and I feel like it really helps the foundation to go on much nicer. So you just open up the cap right there, take a few like 2 pumps on the back of your hand, and I just take it with my finger and you just start applying that all over your face. I always start with my forehead. I don't know why. I just do. I've never really had a problem with my makeup like not lasting throughout the day, so I can't really say if this primer helps a lot with that because it's never really been an issue for me. But if that's a problem for you where your makeup is like melting off throughout the day and it just doesn't look as fresh at the end of the day, definitely think about using a primer. It's a very underrated part of the makeup routine. Okay, so now we are all primed with our moisturizer and primer, so move on to the real makeup. So now for foundation, I actually don't use a actual foundation. I use a BB cream. It's from Clinique. Blah, just dropped it. So the one that I use is from Clinique. It looks like this, very cute. It's so sunny out. Okay, there, you can see the color. So it's from Clinique. It's called the Acne Solutions BB Cream Broad Spectrum SPF 40. SPF, very important. And it's in the shade Light. And it says that it's acne solutions, but it doesn't have any acne medication in it. Like, I don't like using any foundations with like salicylic acid. Like, I don't know, I feel like it's very drying. This, it says acne solutions just because it's non-comedogenic. Is that the word? Am I saying that right? I don't know, I think I am. But basically, it's not gonna clog your pores. It's not gonna cause acne. It's good for like sensitive skin or acne prone skin. That's kind of what they mean by acne solutions. So don't be scared off by that if you have like dry skin and you don't want like salicylic acid in your makeup, because this doesn't have that. It's allergy tested, 100% fragrance free. I have very sensitive skin and I've never had a problem with this. I love this stuff. And like I said, it has surprisingly good coverage for a BB cream. It's a liquid, you gotta shake it up before you use it, so just give it a good shake. That's sufficient. You just open it up, and again, right on the back of the hand, you're gonna take some out. You could always take more. That was probably a little too much, but just that amount. And this product is actually recommended that you use your fingers to apply it rather than like a brush or a beauty blender. So that's how I do it, and it's been working great. I've been using this BB cream for, it's been 2 years now. I am very loyal to this product. It's definitely my ride or die, and I recommend it totally to all of you guys. So I'm just gonna, same way that I did the primer, I'm just gonna pick some up. I guess I always use my middle finger, I'm starting to realize. So I just pick some up, and again, I always just start with my forehead. I dot some on, and I just lightly rub it in all over. Make sure you get all the way to your hairline because you don't want that like line of no makeup up there. And I don't use a lot because whenever I have, it starts to look a little thick, a little cakey, but don't be afraid that if you use a little amount, you're not gonna get good coverage, because this stuff, really, a little goes a long way. It really is surprising how much coverage it gives. My skin is doing pretty well right now. I don't have many like issues on it, but I have used it when I did have some like acne, and it covered so great. But now I'm just using it basically to even out my skin tone, any redness, any blemishes that I do have, and it does a fantastic job. Again, all the way to your ears, because you don't want that like a line of no makeup. And then down the jawline. I don't go all the way down onto my neck, but I don't just stop like right at the jawline. I definitely go a little bit underneath so that there's no line there, because that ain't cute. Under the chin, same deal. And yeah, that's that. And with the BB cream, I am not putting it right underneath my eyes, like by my dark circles or on my eyelids, because I'm going to take care of that with some other products. So yeah, just everywhere but under the eyes and on your eyelids. I have a little bit of extra product on my hand, so I'm just wiping that off. I know I poured out too much. Told you, little goes a long way. Gotta listen to myself. Next, we're on to concealer. So right here, I've got the Urban Decay Naked Skin Color Correcting Fluid in the shade Pink. And this is actually not a concealer, this is a color corrector, but it actually works great for me as a concealer, like an under eye concealer and a spot concealer. So I'm just going to open it up, and I just use very, very little, just a few dots underneath my eye, like literally hardly anything. I'm not doing like a full-on triangle. This is just an everyday, you know, I'm not going crazy here. Just take my ring finger and I just pat it in. Again, not using brushes or beauty blenders. You can, obviously, but this for me is faster and it works great. So I start messing with success, right? I'm gonna take it all the way to the other side of my eye, like covering it all up, and it gives great bright coverage. It actually says on the bottle that it's optical blurring, illuminating, and color neutralizing, and it really, oh god, I don't know if you guys can see. Oh no, lawnmowers! Why you gotta do this to me? Okay, they're a little farther away. So hopefully this is not like messing with the sound too much, you guys. Oh, they stopped! Yay! Okay, on to the next eye. So again, we're just gonna do the same thing, just a few little dots, and I bring it up a little bit on the inner corner, and I bring it up a little bit on that outer corner. And then, do I have any little spots to conceal? I have one right here. So again, just a little bit, just dot it right on there, and just pat that on. Beautiful. Okay, so that is that with the concealer. I am not going like highlighting my face with it or anything. Again, this is just everyday, super simple, keeping it real. And now on to powder. You gotta set that makeup. This is the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder, and I'm just going to use this to set my under eye and my entire face. So I'm gonna use just a small little brush with some powder on it to set my under eye. I just keep my eye open and I just pat, don't rub, because you don't wanna move the makeup that you just put down. But I'm just gonna pat over that concealer. Same thing on the other eye. Now for the rest of my face, I'm moving on to a big fluffy brush. Pick up some powder and the same thing. Just pat, pat, pat all over the face. And we are powdered. So now our base is down, our skin is looking nice and perfect, but a little flat. So we gotta add some dimension back to our face with some bronzer. This is the Marc Jacobs Omega Bronzer in shade 102. This is a sample size of it. Usually the full size product is like this, but like in the size of my face. It's pretty crazy. This is actually a great bronzer for pale skin because it's not warm toned. It's not too warm where it's gonna look like muddy on your skin. So I'm just gonna take my little contour brush, pick up some of the bronzer on my brush, not too much. We start off light and then we can build it up. And you're gonna put this, feel for your cheekbones, and you're gonna put it right below your cheekbones. You're just enhancing that shadow that's there to bring out your cheekbones. So you're just gonna apply that starting all the way back from your ears, and then you can just bring it down like till here. I wouldn't go farther than that because then you have that like weird like sunken line all the way to your mouth. You don't want to go too far with it because it can start looking a little cray. So you just really concentrate the product more back towards your ears, and you can really see that line coming in, that dimension coming back to my face, and build that up until you're happy with what you've got. There we go. So you see We got that nice definition on that side, and now we gotta bring it over to this side. And I'm just gonna take more, and I'm just gonna bronze up my forehead a little bit. Just go around the perimeter of my forehead. Again, just for some dimension. And then also I will just bring it along my jawline just a bit. I'm just gonna take some more on this brush and just brush down the side of my nose just a little bit. It's just a little touch that I like to do. And that is that for the bronzer. Now on to blush. So I have two different blushes here. One is more pink and one is more coral. So some days I'm feeling more like I want to use the coral one, sometimes the pink, sometimes I mix them both. So today I'm actually going to mix them both just to show you what that looks like. So the coral one that I was talking about is from Milani. It is the Baked Blush in the shade number 5 Luminoso. A lot of people here on YouTube are obsessed with this blush. It is a great blush. And then the pinker one that I was talking about is from Becca. It's a mineral blush in the shade Flower Child, another YouTube favorite. That's where I discovered this guy. And let me show you what they look like. You can definitely see that difference in color. So this is the brush that I use for blush. It's from MAC. It's a stippling brush actually. So I'm going to just get some Milani Luminoso on my brush, and then I go into the Becca Flower Child. Tap it off a little bit because I put a lot on the brush there and you don't want pink cheeks. And then I just start applying it. And you want to be careful that you don't apply too much. Just pretty light-handed. Okay, so now we got our blush done. And now on to everybody's favorite part of makeup, highlight. So I'm using the Kylie Cosmetics French Vanilla Highlighter. And a lot of people weren't a fan of this highlighter. I posted a review of it a few months ago. I personally love it. A lot of people don't like it. They say it's not a blinding glow. I mean, it's a bit more natural, but I'm not looking to blind people on an everyday basis. Like, I just want a little bit of something. So yeah, I stand by this highlighter. It's great for what it's meant for. I'm gonna take just this Sephora highlighting brush and pick up some highlighter. So now you're just gonna apply the highlighter right to the tops of your cheekbones, right like this. And what I like doing is kind of making like that little arc around from like the arch of my brow across to the tops of my cheekbones, because I think that just gives like such a nice glowy look. So I'm just gonna do the same thing on the other side, right across the top of the cheekbone, and then I bring it around from the top in that little C arc. And now I love this part, highlighting the nose. So I just go a little bit down, right on the bridge of my nose, right in the center. And then my favorite, tip of the nose. So I just go back and forth, and it's building up that glow until I like how it looks. And I think tip of the nose highlight is just the cutest thing. So you always gotta do that. And then I just go over here, a little Cupid's bow highlight. Super cute. And then just to add a little bit light to the forehead. And just adds a little bit of glow. So now you got a little bit of glow going on all of your face, and we are done with this for now. And now before I start on my brows, I like to prime my eyelids so it has like a minute to set. And just like the primer we used on our whole face before, the shadow primer is just prepping your eyelids for the shadow application so that it goes on smoother and it lasts longer. So I'm using the Smashbox 24-Hour Photo Finish Shadow Primer. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it's what I have, so I'm using it for now. So what you're gonna do, it looks like a little like paint tube. So you're gonna squeeze a little bit out onto the back of your hand, and then again, use that finger to pick some up, and you're just going to apply it all over the lid, all the way up to the brow. Do the same thing for the other lid. So now that we've primed our lids, they have to set for like around a minute or so, since this is when I do my brows. And I don't do a lot to my brows at all because they're kind of fine naturally. I'm just gonna, you know, just comb them out a little bit and set them into place. I'm just combing it into place because they get a little crazy sometimes. Okay, so now they are pretty solid. And what I'm going to use to set my brows is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. It comes in this silver tube. It looks like a mascara wand actually, but the product is just totally clear, as it's called Clear Brow Gel. And what you're just gonna do is just brush through the brows and set them into place. Simple as that. I kind of just brush up into the hair all along the brow and then I shape it. And that's that. That is all I do for my brows on an everyday basis. Like, keeping it super simple, work with what I got. So now the eyeshadow primer has had its time to set in. Now we're going to move on to eyeshadow. So today I'm going to be using the Tartelette in Bloom palette from Tarte. And this is the palette I've been using every day. I absolutely love it. And I mean, come on, the packaging, like, who doesn't want to look at this every morning? Like, come on, it's just like happiness in a palette. So I'm just going to open it right up. It has 12 shades, a lot of really natural shades, great for every day. And let's make a look. So first I'm gonna start off with my crease brush. It's a Sephora, Sephora the Blender. So I'm gonna start off with this shade right here. It's called Flower Child. It's actually really funny, I never noticed it, but Flower Child, this shade of shadow, is the same name as the pink blush that we used. Got a little theme going on. So anyway, we're gonna pick up some of Flower Child, the eyeshadow, and we're gonna use this to set the eyeshadow primer. So this is a really light shade. It's like the color of my skin basically. And I'm just gonna go everywhere, all over the lid, up to the brow, everywhere, just to set that primer. We're just creating a nice base for the rest of the shadows to go on. Okay, so that was awkward. So now for the crease, I'm gonna go right back into Flower Child and mix it with the shade next to it called Smarty Pants. Just 2 little taps into each one and then tap off the brush to get the excess off. We're gonna go right into the crease, right into that hollow right there. And you're just gonna hold your brush right towards the end and little windshield wiper motions. You're just gonna bring it across. And again, this is just adding dimension, just like the bronzer added dimension for our cheeks. This is adding dimension for the eyes. And now I'm just gonna mix the shades Smarty Pants and Jet Setter together. Jet Setter is a bit dark, so I'm just gonna lighten it up a bit by mixing it with Smarty Pants. So just mix those two together and we're just gonna go towards the outside of the crease just to deepen it up a bit more. And once you've concentrated it on the outer, like the outer third of the crease, then you can kind of just drag it in a bit. You could just see that just warmed up the eyes a bit, added some nice depth to them. So I just zoomed you guys in so you can see a little better what we're doing. And now we're gonna move on to the lid. So I'm just gonna pick up some more of Flower Child with a flat shading brush. And I'm just going to pack that on the lid like so. This is the same color that we had as the base, but I'm just adding a bit more to brighten up the lid. You're just tapping and pressing the powder right onto the lid. And now, my favorite part of the eyes, I'm going into Funny Girl, this gorgeous shimmer shade. I pick up a good amount of it on my brush, and I'm going to do the same thing that I did with Flower Child. I'm just going to pack it right onto the lid, right where I put Flower Child. And now what I'm going to do is, again, take this little shader brush and I'm going to dip it into Smarty Pants, get a little bit on the brush for my lower lash line. And I'm just going to bring this across just to smoke out that lower lid a little bit. It takes 5 seconds, but it really just balances out the look. And now we are bringing back the highlighter. So I'm using the same Kylie French Vanilla highlighter, and I'm just going to highlight the inner corner of my eye. So for mascara, I always start with curling my lashes because I have long lashes, but they are super straight. If I don't curl them, you ain't gonna see them. I'm just going to pump it a few times and then just hold it for a few seconds. Look at the difference that makes, like curled, not curled, like. Now we gotta even this out, obviously. There we go, beautifully curled. And this is my #1 mascara. This is my one and my only. This is the Maybelline Pumped Up Colossal Mascara, and this is a waterproof mascara. I have very sensitive eyes, so when I put on regular mascara, my eyes start watering up, and then it wipes away the mascara, it starts smudging and like running, and oh, it's such a mess. Every day I use my waterproof mascara. It's really not a big deal, like I'm so used to it at this point, and my makeup remover takes it off no problem, so you know, it's just what you gotta do. So we're just gonna open up a little mascara. I always just get off the extra mascara at the end, because if you have like a whole bunch of product just sitting there, it could like get on your eyelids or like in the inner corners, like it could just be a mess. So you want to keep your brush like just like a little clean, you know. So what we're gonna do is just apply some mascara. I kind of just put the brush at the base and then kind of blink into it. Don't forget those inner corner lashes. Just make sure everything's coated once through, and then I'll go back and put on a second coat. And always make sure you have some pointed Q-tips on hand whenever you're doing mascara, so if you make a mistake, you got something right there to clean it up. That's what I do every day. I always have my Q-tips with me. So now I'm just going back through for a second coat. More mascara, the better. So now before I start the second eye, I always just put the wand back into the tube and just twist it back out to get more product, rather than like pumping it in, because that can dry out your mascara faster. So I always just put it in, twist it, and then twist it back out, and then you got fresh product on the brush. Quick tip. Okay, so now we're just gonna do the same thing on the other eye. I got a tiny bit on my lid, so I'm just gonna take my little pointed Q-tip and rub that away. Top lashes are done, and now we're gonna move on to bottom lashes. And now I keep these pretty light. I don't like the look of super heavy mascara on the bottom lashes on me. So I just try to keep a super light hand just to darken them up a bit. Just kind of touch it, pull it through, you know. Okay, that looks good to me. And now onto the other side. And the eyes are done. Okay, and we are almost done. One last step, you could not forget the lips. So before putting anything else on, I always start with a lip balm. Recently, I've been so into the Jack Black Intense Therapy Lip Balm, SPF 25. It's in the shade Natural Mint and Flavor. The flavor Natural Mint and Shea Butter. It's so good. I showed it to my sister, showed it to my mom, and they both want it. It's freaking awesome. Okay, so I'm just gonna apply some of that. It's like we primed the face, we primed the lids, now we're priming the lips. I'm so thirsty. So for lipstick, I'm gonna be using this little guy right here. I got this sample from Sephora a few months ago. It's lasted really well. It's Bobbi Brown lip color in the shade Sandwash Pink. I love this lipstick, guys. It's a little bit pinker than my natural lips, so even if it wears off after a few hours, it actually, like, the tint stays a little bit, and it just, I don't know, I love it, guys. It's such a great color. I'll show it to you right here. I'll swatch it. I mean, it's gorgeous. It's just a gorgeous color. So I just apply that. Yep, so that's, whoa. Drop it, stop. Yep, so that's the lipstick, and then basically every time I wear lipstick, I always like to put a gloss over it. So this is just an old MAC lip gloss I've had for years, but I love it. It's MAC Cream Sheen Glass in the shade Partial to Pink. I love this gloss over lipsticks by itself. Like, this is one of my main glosses. So I'm just gonna open that up, and I just apply just a little bit. It feels really nice and smooth, and we are done, guys. Much better. Okay, so this is the final look of my everyday makeup. It's easy, it's fresh, it's glowy, it's simple, it's It's what I do. I hope that was helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you to everyone who requested that video. If you have any more suggestions, just leave them down in the comment section. Any makeup looks or products to review, just leave it all down there and I'll be sure to do it for you. And while you're down there, if you want, you can leave a big thumbs up on the video and hey, maybe subscribe, hang out with me a little more. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, this was ByStephieNics. Bye! And yes, so there's a plane going by. Super freaking weird. Just ignore that. Let's just do that again. It looks nice. I do it, so you know. What? What? Okay. What shades am I gonna use now? Right back into Flower Child. The heck was that sound? Blending forever. What am I saying? Ooh. Oh my god, I'm gonna fall. You guys gotta see it. It's so freaking cute. Like, look at that. So adorable. All over the lips. Oops. Why am I talking when I'm putting lipstick on? Like, come on. How is that going to end with? Swiping off all that makeup I put on the back of my hand. Close-up shots. So what I do. Oof. My hair's like stuck to my lip gloss. The struggle. What? You can also live. You can live. Much better. Much better. Much better. Did I just wink? Did I? Okay. This was ByStephieNics. We have fun here. Bye.